Hello, this is Socially Triggered, and I wanted to make a very different video because a lot of my videos and a lot of the videos that I actually watch are kind of negative. I kind of wanted something a little bit more upbeat, a little bit something more inspirational, uh, and I wanted to do that by giving some business advice that might help people who are interested in entrepreneurship, interested in learning how to make more money. Uh, and who are just sort of sick of hearing always the capitalist is evil or socialism is evil kind of same kind of rants all the time, and or feminism is evil, all these things. I just find that we're sort of just going into this whole thing where we're just putting down things all the time without giving any kind of positive feedback or something that people can latch onto that is a positive way of thinking about the world. And I want to be much more positive in the videos that I create. I want to give people a real sense of opportunity and a sense of, if I just do this, my life might be better. So I'm going to give some business advice that has worked for my business, and I hope that through listening to this, you will find more success in your life. There's a few things. I'm going to give multiple business tips. One is how I made my money. And it actually is not business related, strangely enough. But it is good advice for those people who understand it and take it. The way I made my money was about, oh geez, I'm getting really old. About 15, 16 years ago, no more than that. Wow, 17 years ago, I bought my very first house. And it was a small house. It was sort of at the very max of what I could afford at the time. And I was like, oh, I'm never going to be able to afford this. I was like really scared when buying it, even because it was just really at the max of what I could afford. And I was an entrepreneur at the time, so income was never really certain. I never knew if I'm going to make money or lose money or whatever. I was really scared, but I bought this house. And what happened was I paid $300,000 for the house, and I bought it with a loan. I got a loan. I maxed out my credit, and I had about 40,000 down at the time. I think 30 to 40,000 down. Okay, so I've invested 30, 40,000 into this house. The house is worth 300,000. So I had a $260,000 loan. And within 2 years, the house had gone up in value. It was worth about 360. Okay, so it went from 300 to 360. Now I lived in the house and I was paying my mortgage. I was paying like as little as I could on the principal because I just really didn't have the money at the time. And what happened was I paid about 20,000 towards the principal over those 2 years that I stayed in it. And so that means that now I've had about $60,000 of principal in this house. So if you think about it, 60,000, but the house has gone up by 60,000. So what's happened is when I sold the house, I doubled my money. I've invested 60,000 and had a return of another 60 after the sale of the house. So now I had $120,000 after 2 years of just living in this house. So I mean that was a really great real estate time, but the same holds true nowadays, where real estate prices do go up, and if you buy an affordable house, you can make good money just by buying and selling houses, living in them, buying and selling houses. So, and it's something that most people don't realize, that I made more money doing that than in my business, because most of the money that I earned in my business, I had to pay taxes. I had to it was just going out. It was just money that would disappear. But most of the money from selling my house, I was able to keep. We don't have capital gains in Canada, if you buy and sell your house, you actually get to keep all of that money. So it was quite a nice a nice system, because it was basically like getting $60,000 tax free. So I over the years I bought and sold multiple houses, and I made a couple $1 million doing that, where I just bought and sold houses, lived in the houses, kept on buying bigger and bigger houses, and did well as a result. Always my business growing to pay the bigger and bigger mortgages I would have. But the point is, it's a very simple system to make money. And you might think, oh, you know, I don't have the money to be doing that. Well, what you do to determine what you can really afford is you look at your rent. Whatever you're paying in rent, that can be used as a guide for how much you can afford in terms of buying a house. Now, it might not be a great house that you end up buying. As I said, the first house that I bought was quite small, and you know, it was. But at the time, I thought it was like, wow, I bought a house. I felt so happy with myself. But the point is, with your rent, you can determine how much of a house you can afford, and if you can save that money to make that down payment, then you can get into a house, even if it's a small, crappy house, maybe even run down house, but it's a start. And if you fix it up, spend some time in it, instead of money going towards rent, you're going into building your equity in something tangible, like property, like real estate. And you can do quite well as a result. So always use your rent as a means of determining how much of a house can you afford, and then get into real estate as a simple investment. Real estate is one of those things that will go up, generally goes up over time. Now, there are situations where it does go down. It is still a risk. But if you're in it for the long haul, it's good to take that risk, because generally you'll win. So this has just been my quick advice. Hopefully something positive in this whole world of negativity. I think it's good to have one positive message at least once in a while. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try to do this more often, where I give some business advice and some financial advice, just so that people get something more than just negativity all the time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. This has been Socially Triggered. Bye for now.